AD, by the way.
Hey, what is going on, y'all? We are back with the anniversary episode, man. This is the corner. We're $1 short today. My man's had to work tonight.
Yeah.
We understood. So we just had to work around where we could. But tonight is our anniversary episode. We've been doing this
for a year now.
For a whole year.
Wow.
For a whole year.
That ran by.
Wow.
I mean,
It did go by quick.
I mean, a lot was going on at that time when we started anyway, but yeah, it went through quick.
Wow.
But here we are. So tonight we are hitting y'all with an anniversary episode, and this episode is called OnlyVaxxed.
It's only $15.99.
Well, now we know the prices.
For which package, though?
The premium. It's a premium.
Really?
Pack, yeah.
But see, I wouldn't know.
It's all access there.
You know, I'm free 99 over here.
You see, you ain't gonna get that much access.
You get the
Another
snippets,
conversation.
little snippets with the emojis.
Exactly.
All right, so we leading off with the only, or we leading off with the vax? Because
Well, first, it's been a year. We ain't properly introduced ourselves.
Yeah,
So
I was about to
let's
say
do
we
that
about to
first.
roll call. So we're gonna hit it from our right.
This is Mac.
K1.
Anthony.
And this is another anniversary episode of The Corner.
Wow.
So, I mean, with that being said, man, I mean, if we're going to start off with anything, I think we should start off with OnlyFans just because, you know, recently this week they just decided, we're going to overturn it.
Oh,
right.
Because, you know, they didn't want to lose that money. So,
Yep, so y'all back outside, man.
Man,
They back outside.
Out there.
And so how do y'all, so when y'all first heard about it shutting down or taking away sexually explicit activities on the site, what was y'all initial thoughts on the matter? I'll start with you first.
I mean, it didn't bother me none because I got free porn. So, as long as I have that, I just didn't see a need to make the donation. And then how do I look going to my wife like, yeah, $15.99 coming out my account each month, you know? This just wasn't gonna happen.
That's per creator.
Per
Yeah,
creator.
yeah, per
So
creator,
you know, people
yeah.
got multiple creators they give money to, and I'm just
Multiple
like,
subscriptions.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
If y'all ain't careful, it gets expensive.
So personally for me, I'm good. I didn't hurt or harm me, so I'm here.
Right. Got you. What about you?
I got a nice little chuckle out of it, like, you
Okay.
know, like, I mean, because, like, all right, so I feel like, you know, dabbling into the actual title of the episode, Rona came around and seemed like all of a sudden, bam, here's this new outlet to, you know, I guess we'll just call it make money.
Yeah.
And it took the internet by storm, and social media definitely by storm, because, you know, you all of a sudden had your individuals who were like, you know, they look like they might be a freak, you know, and they could be some type of suspect on that topic, but, you know, you had your eyes on them like, okay, I see what you're working with over there, and then OnlyFans happened, and boom, you know, they busted it open in the stories, and then promoting themselves in the news feed, like, hard facts. And so I got a little chuckle, because it was like,
Right.
It's too late to throw it back in the closet now. We know what's up.
Because it's in the cloud, man.
Facts.
And
Nobody
nobody
cloud. It's
nobody
in
gets
the
the cloud.
But so, you know, I got the little chuckle out of that, and then the whole the overturning the decision to go back, which was like made sense to me, because it was like that was literally them just saying no to so much money, because like that was the second thing. That was my second thought.
Okay.
After I got to thinking about it, it's just like, damn, like y'all really just sending all these folks to the other sites, because now they done started up a market.
Yeah,
like
you
even
already got a fan
right,
base.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They already done got the clientele. Some of them were already on other websites, because like, you know, I spoke to a few, you know, individuals that I know that that create.
Right.
And they were like, well, that's fine. I'm just gonna take these fans over to that site and call it a day. Blah 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 blah. And I was like, So basically,
That's true.
OnlyFans just was like, hey, competition, have all this money.
Hey,
And
that's
so,
right.
So when they overturned it, I was like, okay, yeah, that's you better, because that was a dumb business move.
Because, I mean, if they didn't do it, somebody else.
Right,
Bound to make
somebody
it
else
just
is gonna
as
pop
good,
up right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, yeah, because even sites like Patreon, you know,
Yep, I heard
it don't
about
even start. It really don't even cost them much to get a specific tier level, you know, to be a subscriber.
Yeah, right.
You know, so yeah, Patreon. You know, if OnlyFans had stuck with their decision, I believe Patreon would have been
Would've
you
been
know
right
top
there.
dog
Yeah.
right there, or at least like real close behind OnlyFans.
Because I don't think they like openly said it, but they definitely do 18+ content,
Mhm.
like clean cussing and all
Yeah,
that.
they
So I mean,
Oh, they've been on that.
Oh, yeah,
so
yeah,
like
yeah.
Suicide Girls and a couple other alternative Suicide Girls. They are an alternative modeling branch that like take tattoo models and do photo shoots and video
Oh.
shoots and stuff like that and blah blah blah. They've been on Patreon. Like I've known that for a minute.
Mm.
But so that's what I was seeing. Like if OnlyFans is shutting it down, all you doing is giving these other sites that were already there
Yeah.
more money. So you know what I'm saying? So but either way.
I mean, with that being said, though, I mean, for them to make the move they did, people gonna move anyway. They gonna probably
Oh, yeah.
end up still losing money. Maybe not as much as they would have lost, but they still.
Because
gonna
now
lose
you've
money.
taken their security away. Now they're thinking,
Yes.
well, do I need to have a backup plan? Because like, and apparently, all right, so there's a couple other smaller sites. I think MyLink or something like that is is you know one of the underdogs of that area. But what I also saw on the rise since OnlyFans popped up was all these like premium Snapchat subscriptions and stuff like that.
I heard about it.
Yeah.
And so like you go to the bio and it's like here's the OnlyFans link, here's the Patreon link, here's the
Yes.
premium Snapchat, you know,
Right.
tag and all that stuff. And so they literally would have just been giving away money.
Mm. Yep. And you know what? Before y'all had kind of explained, you know, I guess the kind of OnlyFans, you know, if they were to stay with that decision, you know, of course, my initial thought was good.
He was one of those guys.
Yeah, I was one of those guys. I was like, good. Get a job. Good. You know, like I was.
You sound like a grouse. Get a job,
Yeah.
grouse.
Yeah, I was that guy. You know, I ain't gonna lie to you. But you know, like I said, after y'all kind of, you know, explain, you know, well, you know what? Yeah, to you that might be good, but to somebody else, that was probably their only stream of income.
Yeah.
You know, so
Especially some of these bad ones out here.
Yes,
They was probably
so-
pulling it in for real.
right. So you know, I'm not too prideful to, you know, to understand, you know, try to understand both sides. So after they had explained the business aspect of, you know, OnlyFans and things like that, I was like, yeah, you know what, maybe I should take it down a notch. You know?
I mean, I look at it like this: if you work a regular 9 to 5, and they be like, "Yeah, we're gonna stop, you know, doing this such and such product, so that means you won't have a job."
You
no
ain't
more."
gonna have a
It's the
job.
same-
Yes.
it's the
Yeah,
same
it's the same
difference.
thing. Yep,
Yeah.
exactly. It's the exact same thing, you know. So, but of course, I'm willing to admit my first initial thought was good. Great. I'm glad y'all shutting it down.
I would. Plies had a pretty good reaction to it. I thought that was awesome. That little
I got a
video.
whole spiel on that
Yeah,
too,
that
but
was
yeah.
awesome. Like, I mean, I'm not saying I completely agree with them, but like at the same time, I kind of do, because like there were some that were, I guess, really feeling themselves and found out that, you know, hey, you in a whole ocean of other people doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Some
Small
folks
fish,
probably
big
got
pond.
humbled and was out here, you know, selling their
Things.
content. Sorry, had to find the word. Content for premium prices when now you in an
That's what I'm
ocean
saying.
with others that can demand the premium
That's what I'm
prices and then
Right.
not so much. Like
And that's what I was saying earlier. You know, if you're not careful, $15.99 will run up your bill. And it's kind of like, you know, what Ply said. What Ply was saying, like, you know, the market was just oversaturated. You overprice your assets, content, assets, and all that.
like that.
And right, assets in a, you know, it's the what's the analogy? You know, big, small fish, big ocean.
Right.
Because everybody's literally
Because
doing the same thing.
Because you got to think, because it wasn't just normal people doing this now.
Right.
You got porn stars started doing it.
They
You
started,
got like
heavy.
full professional strippers doing it. You
Mhm.
and you got to think that like those people already had a massive fan base
Yeah.
waiting for some way to like get more
They taking at least
interaction and everything.
50%.
Yeah,
They taking
because like
at least 50% of the market.
let's see. As a single man, I follow a few porn stars, and like
That's okay.
you
That's
talking
okay.
about like some of them are literally they're advertising the fact that they're literally in the top 0.01 percentile of
Yes.
the fan bases as far as like how much they're pulling in and everything.
Yeah.
And when you got those on OnlyFans, then you talking about up the street Betty over here trying to get 25 a month. On 25 a month, on top of you got to pay for the clips and all that, and as they get produced or whatever,
Yeah.
it's you got some stiff competition, boy. Like,
But you know what's still ill about that though? There's still gonna be buyers for up the street betting. Like,
I'm not taking
Still
nothing from
some
it.
buyers.
I mean, get it how you
Like-
live. If it's working out for you,
because
then
this modern age is overly sexualized.
Yes,
like
very
if
much
there's
so.
if there's anything
Yep.
that has the word sex in it,
Mhm.
everybody's
Right.
people gonna follow that.
But
direction.
this is my question though with that. So with you having these, porn stars and everything like that moving to OnlyFans, I mean still doing their thing on, sites or whatever, then move to OnlyFans, like how much money did they really seem to stand from being on OnlyFans but versus doing what they were already doing? Like it had to be a good pull in for them to be like, hey, let me go ahead and publicize
The way
on
I've
this.
seen it was
Strengthen
like, I
numbers.
guess as far as the way the sites are built, I guess they kind of categorize the type of stuff they would put on each thing. Like, okay, if you're gonna come over here and pay these prices, then you get this, this, and this. You're gonna come over here and pay these prices, then you get, this, and this type stuff.
I also think it's strength in numbers too, because I mean traffic is traffic. You know what I'm saying? So long as there's a funnel going to whatever site, you can charge $1. But if 1 million people buying your shit for $1,
For $1,
you just got $1
you just
million.
made $1 million.
You
And
know?
that's what Bad Baby
yeah, yeah, how
she was
about that
talking
chick,
about.
yeah.
She was talking about she went to OnlyFans and she literally could retire now off of what she
Yes.
got off just OnlyFans. Like, fuck the music, fuck all the other
I don't
things
even
she
think
got
that was
going
even
on.
a year.
Right, it wasn't even. She was only on there for.
Yeah, 'cause
she
she
was
had
only on there
posted-
for a couple of months.
Yes.
And she was talking about she could literally cash out right now and not have to work another day in her life.
Yeah, I heard about it in the news. Like, as soon as she posted something, boy, she got millions. I was like, what?
Right. But then, like I said, this is a world where everything is overly sexualized now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if it will take nothing to, especially if it's a, I don't know if I want to go that deep, but just a,
So go ahead.
Yeah.
I mean,
because,
down with a toe,
all right, I did my toe in the pool. I did my toe in the pool. So, I guess I'll leave this question. How old was she when she did that?
That's what I was
Well,
gonna
she's
expand
of
on.
legal
That's
age
what I
now.
was gonna
She
expand
is now.
She's
Was she
illegal,
of
but
legal
that-
Oh
age
yeah,
when
but
she
she just
that?
did that last year.
Yeah, yeah,
She's,
yeah.
Okay,
she's
she was.
19,
waited.
something like that, 20
Yeah.
now.
She
So
waited.
last year.
So I guess my point is a lot of men like younger women. You know what I'm saying? That's what they would. That's what they prefer.
Not all they hopped up to be. But anyway.
Got you. Fine. Because you still gotta check the Carfax. Sure. But from the
It's a lot of
surface level,
miles.
the product looked good.
Right.
So yeah, I wasn't surprised when when she had put it out there that she made X amount of money
Mhm.
just off of 1 or 2 to 3 months.
Right,
You
yeah.
know, and she's a younger lady. A lot
Yeah.
of
And she-
older men.
Unfortunately, is
Like-
not ugly. Like,
Yeah, and
she's
she's not-
like shit. But
She might got a filthy mouth, but she's
right,
not
but
ugly.
She is bad. Like,
She is cute.
part of
Yeah,
that.
I will say she is
Cause,
cute.
man, that just bring to your point. I mean, dudes was waiting. They was waiting till
Exactly.
waiting till she cracked,
Exactly.
waiting till she turned
And
of age.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, and then you got to question like, okay, man, so you've been waiting for that long?
Facts.
You
seen the numbers. They was waiting.
Yeah,
I was waiting.
literally waiting.
Y'all was waiting for her to turn 18
Yep. And-
to do it.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, okay, maybe, sure.
Right.
She will be a legal age to consent
Yeah.
at that time. So, all right, cool. But that just goes to show you, what the audience is like.
Mm.
And I'm not saying that's in every case, because I mean, you got men that like older women, that will do that type of thing. If a 45-year-old woman were to do the same thing, you have just about the same amount as
They're out.
men, right? Yeah, you have just about the same amount as men buying the same product.
Mhm.
So it definitely didn't surprise me with Bad Baby making that much money, you know, in less than 6 months.
I mean, because to be honest, her whole career was sort of a
Since Dr. Phil,
like literally once she started making music, and I'm not much of a woman rapper listening to her, but as far as her music, it was surprisingly good. And then she started getting real features like Kodak, and I think NBA did a feature with her, and a couple others, and it was like her music actually was decent. So I got to say, her career took me by surprise. And then now when she got that heat, and then decided she wanted to turn it over to let's see what else we can do over here, and I wouldn't even imagine that she had to even put some crazy shit on there. It was probably her just at the pool or something.
Yeah.
And boom, you know what I'm saying? That's all it needed to be.
Quick side note, I would encourage you to listen to Rhapsody.
Rhapsody. Okay.
Yeah, she's a female MC.
I have heard.
Nice.
I have heard of her. Yeah.
I mean, nice with it.
She's got to work hard though, because like Snow the Product is my top as far as women go. But I will give it a listen.
She calls herself Snow the Product.
Snow the Product.
She definitely calls herself cocaine.
Pretty much.
We don't. We're not saying that.
Snow the Product.
Well, we're not saying that.
That's what she's calling herself.
Wintry conditions. She cold. She cold.
That's literally a dope name. Play on words. It's a dope name.
The weatherman says a slight chance of snow.
But you know, like,
yeah, shout out to Jeezy.
But I mean, with all that being said, like, you know, even with this show, whatever, I thought about moving to different channels or whatever to bring more money into the show.
Yeah.
And my thing is with OnlyFans, there's more content other than sexual
Yes,
content on
that's
OnlyFans.
true. Which I feel is like where OnlyFans was trying to get back to.
Yeah.
That
Right.
I get. Because you got people that maybe want to get on that market, maybe want to make some money off of it, but it's just like, I don't want people looking at me different because I have an OnlyFans.
Right.
Thinking like,
Right.
oh,
You
you
know,
put out explicit
it did
content.
have a bad name.
What's up with the corner now?
Yeah.
I mean, hell, maybe we got some folks looking out there. Hey.
They get there.
I will say that OnlyFans, I guess, kind of did have build up a not so good reputation.
Yeah, for the last
with-
year, for sure. Like, it's definitely.
Yeah, because I mean, it's popular.
Yeah.
It is popular. Nobody's gonna subscribe to, you know, a woman that has a cooking channel on OnlyFans and then pay for it.
They gonna
When
probably
I can watch
I
it
mean,
for free on
They
YouTube.
gonna probably wait and they like, when she gonna take the apron off?
Right.
See,
like, you know what I'm saying? Because like, you'd be surprised now if you throw a sports bra on her now and she in the kitchen. Hey, now there's some folks out here that
They will watch
they
it.
go
They will watch
they
it.
go to the hub or whatever and be like in the kitchen. What's up?
Yeah,
you know
they
what
will.
I'm saying? Like,
It's just
so-
unfortunate for the creators that's
Right,
not
they're trying to
promoting
be
that.
awesome.
You know, like,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So it's like, what
For
do
sure.
you do?
Right.
And it just goes back to the, you know, small fish, big ocean thing. It's like, man, I got this dope ass cooking content, but nobody's buying my stuff.
Right.
You know, so it's like, what do you do?
Like, I think also it hurts to say that you're trying to, you know, promote an OnlyFans, and then the folks get there, and then you cooking, and then the negative reviews that would come off of that. You know what I'm saying? Because they expected a certain something.
Like, I ain't seen
and
sausage
then
nowhere.
and then they, right, you know what I'm saying? Like, right. So when the stepbrother coming in? Like,
Delete that footage.
But I mean, he's right. I mean, that's the world. That's the world we're in. You know,
Yeah,
unfortunately, like literally, as funny as it is, it's sad too. Because it's sad that the world, as far as like these most recent generations, have been geared towards like instant gratification and things like that. Whereas like
It's microwave
at this point,
society.
if you want to find it, it's not that hard. To
It's
look
not
up.
hard,
Like, you
yeah.
know what I'm saying? And like I feel like it's. I don't want to say coming from an old head, you know, standpoint. But like, it's not jealousy, but it's like at the same time kind of is, where it's like we had to like sit here and like got to wait 3 hours for LimeWire to download like
the split fuzzy
right. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta
HBO.
wait 3.5 hours for this. 15
We had
minute-
to work hard for
Yeah,
this.
you know what I'm saying? And y'all sit up here and pull up an iPhone that y'all had for 3 years. Oh, I'm sorry, for 3 months, because now everybody getting new iPhones. Like, excuse me. But anyway, got to pull up an iPhone and boom. All right, let's go to Safari. Boop.
Yeah.
Whatever it is that you want to
Right.
see, right there.
I mean, everything is just progressed because you got to look at, you know, the generation after us, our generation, and the generation before us. You know, like now we had the slower internet, but they had magazines.
True.
You know what I mean? So, you know, I mean,
Right, we was kind of in the middle. We
Yeah.
had the best of both
Now you
worlds.
got
If the
new
internet
age
didn't
folks.
work, we got magazines.
right.
you got new age folks who don't even know what a magazine feels like in hand. Like,
Oh, they don't even know what a VCR is.
Don't know how to balance the two activities. Like, you know
saying,
what I'm
like,
saying? Like,
that hurts my heart.
y'all killing it. Y'all can't multitask no more. Like,
that really hurts me.
I don't know what it's like. Y'all got headphones and stuff now. We had to turn the volume on the speakers all the way down, get all up close.
Well, we had systems.
The struggles we had struggles is what we had.
And then be ready with a pre-channel, man. Now you ain't got no pre-channel on TV now.
It all come with it.
Right there.
It comes with it. If you can't get on TV, there's always Google.
I knew the new age had me fucked up when I was trying to, get to it. And and I'm sitting here like, yeah, and then like the sound wasn't playing. I was like, let me fix the volume on that. But come from the next room and it done hooked up to a Bluetooth speaker. I was like, hey, woo!
And it feel like it'll take forever to turn that shit off.
Facts. Like I'm telling you, you can't get to it. You can't get to it. And then it want to play quick as hell, but trying to stop it, it takes like 3 seconds.
It takes centuries.
I'm telling you, bro.
Bro, how you even explain that? You come out there like,
Hey, it is what it is, bro. Like I was embarrassed for sure, but like at the same time, I'm a grown ass single man, so
True. Because you
my
ain't
bad.
coming out there unscathed,
Right?
right?
No, like your dignity take a little bit of a punch.
Yeah,
but,
it
you know,
is.
but it is what it is, bro.
But as
Like,
long as you own
right,
it,
you know what I'm
right.
saying? Like, and
Got it.
I will own every little bit of it, bro.
There you
Like,
go.
I'm a grown.
come out there with a straight face. You know what it was.
Right.
You
know what time
ask
it
no
was.
question. Just let me unpair this real quick.
Hey, so you might want to go ahead and turn that speaker off.
Bruh.
What you doing with my speaker in your room anyway? Like,
Boy, that is
and from that day on, I was like, all right, headphones only.
That's it. That's it.
I got an interesting question.
What's up?
I guess to stay back on the OnlyFans thing. So, y'all two are the buyers.
Okay.
All right. What would you think would be the ideal price for said content?
I like this question.
I mean,
But I'll start with him
Go
first.
ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah.
All right, so being as though I do know a few creators somewhat personally, some actually personally, I get the buddy price or the premium
The
package.
plug.
So the premium package. And so it's like, hey, I know you ain't a creep. Go ahead, help yourself. I'm like, hey, all right, yeah,
That's
what
fair.
I'm saying?
That's fair.
So I'm on here, and sometimes you get to scrolling, seeing what else is on the market. Not that I'm gonna actually go out there and spend $20 or whatever,
Yeah.
but like I get to scrolling on the prices and stuff. And so this is what's funny to me, and it relates to real market issues.
Yes.
Okay. So actually, and this butts up pretty well. I was on the way over here and had scrolled past somebody talking about your friend, making their own company and like charging a certain price, and it's a little higher than like if you go to Walmart to buy a T-shirt and your buddy's charging like $25, $35 for a T-shirt or whatever,
Okay.
and whatnot. And so I get to scrolling and I started like kind of putting the pattern together where it was like the ones that don't quite have the client base and don't quite have maybe not quite to up there as far as standards as porn stars or whatever, what I'm saying, are charging a little bit more than what you would think would be ideal for like, oh, you see, and like this is where I'm not trying to insult nobody, but like, oh, it's worth that, is it? But like, what I'm saying? But then you got, some of your hot ones that'll be like, hey, so I'm, on sale $5 a month, blah, 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 this, that, and the third, and then, facts, what I'm saying? Like,
it's a market.
It's a market. It is literally a market. That's, like I said, I started putting that together as I was seeing it.
Economics, man.
Facts. Facts. And so, as far as, okay.
Take your time.
I'm really skating some treacherous course here because I don't want to insult anybody.
I mean, it's an anniversary,
But
baby.
all right, so this is how I feel like it should go. Like if I know that I ain't got the client base like that, I ain't got this popping like that, you gonna have to be patient. You know what I'm saying? Like just like anybody starting up, let's say we bring it to the real market. Anybody starting up a business, anybody trying to do something on their own or whatever, you're gonna have to be patient. To build that fan base, that client that clientele for you to be able to kind of maybe then alter some prices and, you know, find your niche and your ideal price point or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
As far as what I think the ideal price point is, which I think OnlyFans should look at doing something like this as far as like regulating things.
Okay.
Whereas in like the ideal price, let's say, because you got to remind yourself that this is you paying this for one creator.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, every month. And, you know,
Right.
of course, you got your greedy folks out there that don't want to just look at one creator for a month. You know what I'm saying? So then you just got to start looking at multiple.
Yes.
To me, I think if OnlyFans wants to change something, maybe start altering the pricing scales. You know what I'm saying?
That's interesting.
But that could mean, too, they put a cap on their money, though.
I mean, yes and no. Because I feel like if you balancing it out, then it gets to the point to where, like, you know, you giving the little guy, for, you know, so to speak, for this, you know, instance, a chance to grow. You know what I'm saying? As far as like trying to balance out the market, you know, smooth out the curve. Because you got your folks down here that are like struggling with like maybe 3 or 4 subscribers, and then you got Christy Mack or somebody up here doing like millions of subscribers and stuff, and she just capping every day. Like you got new subscribers coming to the site every day, and you got this one down here. Like if we're gonna try to really make a market out of it, we need to make it a fair trade market. You know what I'm saying? Just like economics.
Yeah.
So try to find like, you know, ideally, like if we're talking about subscriptions as far as like without being able to look at all the clips or whatever, like it's because like a lot of them are pay-per-view.
Yes.
Whereas like you pay for the subscription and then you have to like, as far as premium content or whatever goes, you got to pay that per little clip, per little video, per little picture or whatever, you know, stuff like that. So like as far as ideal price point would go, $5, you know what I'm saying? Because like, because even still, if you Christy Mack or you a porn star or something like that, a month, that ain't bad, boy.
No. Finish, go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? But like, you know, as part, because you still got folks like, you know, porn stars, tattoo models, well known, you know, names or whatever up here. If $5 ain't that, you know, that if let's say they were charging 10, 15 or whatever, some of them do charge that. You know what I'm saying? They might hurt a little bit, but they still. Hell, if you're only charging $5, that means you probably got 3 more people that's like, oh, Christy Mack for $5? Bam, in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And as far as you got these, like I said, you got shoppers that don't want to look at just one creator. You know, it makes it a little easier for them to, you know, get their variety going. You know what I'm saying? So, stuff like that. So I say as far as a basic subscription, $5 a month. Start out right there, see how the curve goes, see how things go.
Yeah.
Go from
And
there.
then adjust from there. Okay. All right, I got you.
So,
Your thoughts?
So piggybacking off of what you're saying with that, it just depends on the actual artist. And I say that because, you know, you're not going to be a new person coming in and charging $5 because you got to build your fan base up. Now, like you said, to your point, if it's a Christy Mack character, it's like, oh yeah, you know, she can easily get that, like make it $5 and get all these subscribers because she has that level. But if you're not on that level, it might not even build up to that much. Because I mean, at the end of the day, if OnlyFans was the cap on their people or whatever, because you gotta think they're pretty much, you know, they're pretty much their, what's the word I'm looking for? What they call workers like for lifting stuff. They call them something like an in contract.
Laborers?
Oh, contractor. So they're contractors to OnlyFans. So I feel like they should be able to set their own prices just only because, you know, at the end of the day, you want to set your prices but have a set point. So just do like you would a streaming site. You got your $10 for regular, you got your $15.99 for like the middle, then you got your $20 for the basic. I feel like if they stick to that, they should be well within their rights. But like I said, it just depends on your fan base.
So roll out some package deals.
Yeah, roll out some package deals. Because
like
to Mac's point earlier, you know, sometimes, you know, some creators be like, oh, this is going on sale for $5 only tonight, blah, blah, blah. And you got dedicated people, they're like, oh, snap. Then they're going to tell other people like, hey, it's only $5 right now, jump on while you can. So, yeah, I don't think OnlyFans should cap on it, but I do think that, you know, creators should be aware of people's pockets at the same time too. But you know, like I'm not the type of person. Let's just say if I was single, if I was out here, I'm not subscribing to 10 different other channels. I'm sorry.
You know
If I got to do all that, I'm paying for the rent at this point. You know what I mean? So I can see myself doing that. I find one if it's something I like off the preview. I'm like, I think I'm gonna stick with this. I think for some people that do subscribe to different ones, it's different stuff they're looking for. So as creators, they need to know what their fan base is looking for because if you throw one thing out there, you throw something different out, they're like,
Yeah.
Nah,
Right.
let me go over here. She doing
And the funny thing is they actually do polls and stuff as
Yeah.
far as like for what their client, their customers
want.
or whatever, what they want to see next, like what video they want to release next or something like that. They do release polls like that, so that's along the lines of something that they could really probably try to work with.
I got you.
So for me, it would just be, rated just like you would streaming prices, because at the end of the day, it's still an app. So
That's true.
I would just roll out just like you do, streaming services and go from there.
Gotcha.
And, like you said, obviously most creators do engage their people and see what they want. So therefore, I mean, if you continue to do like that, you won't lose your market. But,
That's true.
like we said, with so many different avenues now, whatever market you have here, you can take it over there
That's true.
and go from there.
That's true.
Yeah.
So my thoughts on the matter, it just kind of, I guess, cover both of y'all's bases, as far as polls and things like that. I guess my thing would be like, the first thing that's gonna catch somebody's attention is presentation. So I think a lot of presentation and what you, I guess, have to offer. I mean, it is a pretty common market, but you can always put a. That's what I'm saying. You can always put a twist into what you're promoting. Because I've seen a lot of OnlyFans promos, and I was seeing it, and I'm like, I would not subscribe to that.
I mean, all right.
I wouldn't
so
subscribe to that.
the way I've seen it, as far as like the same thing you talking about, as far
Yeah.
as promos in the news feed and the stories and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And just like you just said, I would not subscribe to that. I feel like a lot of the people that are promoting themselves are doing it wrong, sort of. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what I'm thinking too. Yeah, I'm thinking because I'm not saying that everybody doesn't have the capabilities of marketing themselves.
Mhm.
They just need practice.
Right.
They
And
just need
see,
guidance.
and the thing that what I'm pretty sure we've all kind of been a witness to is, as far as promoting themselves, a lot of them try to, come out the box with the wild shit.
With the wild
like
shit,
whatever you think is going, like, oh hell yeah, clickbait, I guess is what you.
it would be.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
there's a
But
lot of
that's
clickbait
not,
promos.
all right, see, this is the way
Yeah.
I feel about it. Like, I understand, I don't really, I'm not a creator or anything like that. I don't have really an inside scope as far as like how the system works. But like to me, that's especially considering you take into your, because like a lot of these people are doing their own personal, like been used for years, social media accounts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If you're gonna promote yourself, as far as like, hey, I got this, by the way, like you really could just start out with like some basic, if you have to footage, but like more or less just, this is my tag, and then whoever wants to click on it, clicks on it, and then see what you got going on, instead of just like all over social media, because that's not what I come to Facebook for. Facebook is literally, I'm coming here to laugh, talk my shit. I might talk a little shit on some exes sometimes, but that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna talk my shit a little bit, and I'm laughing. Like literally, even when I'm talking my shit about exes, it's mostly for the fact that like, that's funny, share. Because like, I relate, or like, it'll be the person that like, they shared it, and I'll be like, that's funny, share.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But that's not what I come to Facebook for, or Instagram, because like I barely use Instagram. But if I'm going to Instagram, I'm looking like, all right, so how my homies doing that ain't on Facebook prominently? How they doing on Instagram or whatever? I'm trying to see what y'all life is about, not necessarily scroll and see ass. Like that's not what I'm coming to Facebook for. You feel me?
Right, brother.
And
So-
ass.
You know what I'm saying? And so I feel like, as far as promoting goes, dial it back some. Like give a very vague view as far as like what your product that you're pushing is, and then say this is my tag or whatever, or just do the basic, because there are people that do that. They're like, hey, this is my OnlyFans link, here it is, click on it, and then you go see it. To me, that works better. Instead of, because like just like you said, I'm not subscribing to that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that means that they literally put that out there, because like I'm sure you're not the only person that felt that way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They put that out there for no reason, and now you on your social media account that you talk to your family with and all that stuff,
Right.
just out there for technically
out
at
there.
this point for no reason. You know what I'm saying? But that's how I feel about it.
And then you know, just off that free promo, they need to put literally all of them.
You know what I'm saying?
Just to promote their link. It's like, well, I mean, I got about 10 seconds of what I needed.
Technically, it's on loop. It's on loop, so I got what I need.
And it's on loop. Exactly.
Like,
And it's on loop.
Yo,
so
Tumblr used to be big on that.
Yeah,
I think they slowed down from what I've heard.
They
But they used to be big on that, boy.
So, you know, I was here, I was like, well, all right, thank you. I
If you
appreciate
want-
it.
if you want to do some wild stuff,
right.
you want to do some wild stuff, go to Twitter. Go to like,
Twitter.
you know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
man.
That's why I
Because
don't
like
be on Twitter.
it's because like that's where it is. That's where the wild shit is.
Twitter's
If you want to do that, go to Twitter. But as far as like, you know, have remain with some censorship as far as like Facebook and stuff like that goes, because like again, you know, you got most of you people that aren't coming to Facebook to look at stuff like that, and especially like you said, like no, I ain't subscribing to that,
Right.
You know, stuff like so you don't put that out there
Exactly.
and turn somebody away. You know what I'm saying? Like if they would have just clicked on your link or whatever, and then like got to like dabble the toes in it and kind of like, you know, get a whole broad view of what you got going on, you might have been able to pull that person back in.
And then I would think that, you know, with that too, you know, the creator would feel like that, you know what, I'm actually working hard for what I'm pushing.
You know,
this
putting
is a
some
good,
detail
this is a
in
good
it.
work
Right.
ethic.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm not just putting out my assets out there for free.
Right.
You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Is it
Right.
right?
You know what I'm saying?
Because
Like,
I at least want my subscribers
hey,
to
y'all
work
wanted to
for
see
it.
its ass? Boop, there it is.
Right, here it is.
A whole 15 seconds of it. What's up? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and
You want to move that emoji? It's only $15.99.
right, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's facts. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But, you know,
and they do advertise
and they do
like
advertise-
that.
they
just
do.
like that.
And
Oh my
honestly,
God.
I do believe that is I can agree with you at that point. I think that is a better business model because I mean the content creator is, you know, really, you know, I'm not saying reserved, but cares about what they're putting out there. And at the same time, the subscribers, you know, it gives them a sense of, you know, urgency to want to actually work for the, you know, removing that emoji.
Right.
You know, that's blocking
So
stuff.
I came this far, click. Like, you know
Right,
what I'm
and
saying? Like, you
right.
in there now, so like I said, once you get there
Yeah.
in a more sensible environment for what you're
Exactly.
seeing, you know what I'm saying? Like you get to actually become, you know, acclimate to it.
Right.
Instead of like, oh, you know, I'm getting ready to go to Facebook and laugh real quick. Oh,
right.
ass.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well,
Yeah.
I'm not sure how to feel about that.
It's
Like,
like,
you know what I'm saying?
It
Like,
gives us something to think about.
Yeah.
It gives us something to think about, and also, you know, to that point, in a sense, it puts, as far as the creator side, it puts more value to what they're selling.
right.
You know, because
Exactly.
nobody's gonna really appreciate free shit like that.
I agree.
For this case,
I mean, it's for this
For-
case.
for this
exactly.
case.
And honestly, as far as this point, you've given it to people for free because, like I said, it's like, you know, we was laughing about it. It's on loop.
yeah.
And you done put a teaser out there.
Mhm.
You might have just given somebody all they needed without having to subscribe to you.
True.
You know what I'm
So you
saying?
got
Exactly.
10 seconds of
Exactly.
in and out. That's a
Because
whole
you
2 minutes.
got some folks out here that are literally 3 faps and done. You know what I mean? Like dead ass.
Yeah.
So
10 seconds is like 20 minutes
and
in the
sex
room.
on loop, like
on
you know
loop.
what I'm saying? It's fact.
You can stretch that.
Because you coming, you showing the
Literally.
wild,
Literally.
you showing the wildest 10, 15, 30 seconds of your whatever you trying to put out there.
Yeah.
It's on loop, so that's all somebody needs. You know what I'm saying?
So they need to do teaser trailers. They need to do the where it's like, oh, I'm about to
think
do
so.
this, and then boom, like,
I think so.
subscribe if you want to see.
So it's for free.
Yeah, I think so. Because if they just
Not I'm gonna cover everything but the stuff. You know,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Like that. Come on now, like
right.
I'm gonna cover the whole, but you got everything else.
Got
around it.
everything
Like,
else.
you know what I'm saying?
Everything else.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Because at the time, it's like, well, okay, you just gonna do that. All right, I got my 10 seconds, but now I can just go to the hub where I got a whole library.
Exactly. You got me worked up. Thanks.
Right.
Right over.
I got like Joel Santino said, I got a whole selection.
Because even
A whole collection.
the one thing I did notice since this whole OnlyFans thing been popping off,
Yeah.
the hub
Yeah.
has been blessing folks with the premium content for free.
Got it.
Like, you
Yeah,
feel me?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
like you got the HD,
Full of
the
different-
whole, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm telling you, you better rein it in. Give a tasteful, somewhat sort of snippet of
Yeah.
what you got going on.
Yeah.
Post your link. Get people to like dive into your product, not just immerse them in it as soon as they opening up the app. You know what I'm saying?
So long story short, have some class, man.
Oh my God.
Just have some class. If you're gonna show ass, have some class.
I mean,
Well,
where's the lie?
I guess.
am I lying though? Am I
I
lying?
guess.
I guess
Yeah. Go ahead.
I guess we
Yeah.
can try.
Yeah. If you're gonna show some ass, have some class. That's it.
Oh,
That's all.
my.
Ain't nothing wrong with, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with not showing everything all you got.
Right.
I done seen everything. I've seen
Right.
everything
We
you
done
got.
seen
I don't
it.
want it no more.
It's in the spank bag.
It's already there.
Like,
Yeah.
and that's another thing. Talking about like, all right, so let's say they were actually going to go through with the whole adult content ban or whatever. I spoke on it already with the whole like, oh, it's out the bag now. We already know what's up type of thing.
Right.
Like, let's say they completely went through that. Now, mind you, you done put all your wildest stuff
Yeah.
on Facebook.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Where everybody can see.
Everybody, your cousin, your auntie, your
Yeah.
grandma, all that. Done seen
baby.
it. You know what I'm
Seen
saying? Done seen it. You know what I'm saying? And so they went ahead and banned it now. And so now you definitely done put it all out there for no reason. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and so you done gave folks a whole new glimpse of you.
Mm-hmm.
For what?
For what?
You know what I'm saying? And so, like, I'm not saying that you shouldn't feel, I'm not saying that you should feel, like some type of hit with the dignity or whatever, because, like, you had the boldness to put it out there. But at the same time, you sat there and seen a payday and was like, oh, well, let me just let this fly.
I'm just gonna let it
you know,
go in.
you know what I'm saying? Let me just pull this skeleton on out the closet and
Yeah.
let folks know what's up. Let my freak flag,
Right.
fly. And no, it's too late now because like
Too late.
we done seen it. It's literally out there.
Yeah.
But
And you can't get it back.
but y'all they overturned the decision, so y'all still I guess relatively safe
Get the money.
in your
Get the
reasoning for why you did all of it. But
Yeah.
it is what it is on that point.
Let this be a valuable lesson, though.
Facts. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Just let that be a lesson.
Just,
How
you
you
know,
apologize?
I'm not apologizing. I'm saying let it be a lesson. Because just like any other 9-to-5 job, these jobs can get rid of you in a quick second.
facts. And they showed that.
Yeah,
Literally,
they showed
like, oh,
that.
y'all had your fun.
Because for about a week straight, y'all was in a
y'all was
state of
tightened up.
panic.
Yep.
So let that be a
Let's
lesson.
see. Some folks was in panic. Some folks were like, "Oh, all right."
Right. Taking it to the other sites or whatever.
Yeah.
Now, I think
yeah.
if anything, I guess we not knowing what the market looked like, we were probably paying like, "Oh, y'all gonna have to get real jobs now." Where
Right.
a lot of people they had backup plans, they had investments.
Oh,
and things
that's
like that.
true.
So
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, as long as you knew what to do with the money.
Hope
yeah.
you invested wisely.
Yeah, also too, because Bitcoin was popping for a couple months too. So
Hey,
I would
y'all
hope.
had a nice little Dogecoin
Yeah.
spurt.
Yep.
there.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So we hope you guys were wise, but now you got to take a chance to start over.
Not necessarily the word of some haters, but like just try to have some censorship
Like I said,
about what you
Yeah.
throw out there.
show some ass, have some class.
All the public, because it was funny because you would see some of them apologizing to their family and friends, talking about yeah.
Oh, really?
yeah.
Wow.
Like, hey, I'm showing this. If you don't want to see it, keep scrolling, but here it is type stuff. And it's just like, to me, in my head, the way I am, the way I carry myself, I play it close to the chest. Like, if it ain't got to be known, it ain't going to be known.
Yeah.
I mean, but if you ask me, I'm going to tell you. But as far as that's the only way you're going to know about it.
Makes sense.
So, but, you had your folks out there that was publicly apologizing to, family members and friends or whatever. To me, I feel like if you got to go that far,
yeah.
then in your head somewhere, something should be popping like,
Right.
there should be a different way to go about this.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, like, that's just me. I think a certain way, and clearly the world thinks differently. But
Yeah. True.
all right.
I think we're good on that. I think we can hop into
I like
the,
that. That
the
was
back-
good.
That was
back-
good.
Yeah, we did a little,
That was
run.
good,
Did
yeah.
a little run. So we can definitely hop into the vax part of the portion for this segment. So
Cool.
just recently we found out.
Our
Go
brother
ahead,
here.
go ahead,
and open.
spit that out.
You got the floor now.
No.
All right.
Well, let me just do it like this.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say this. So, out of the three, only two of us are not vaccinated. That's all I'm gonna say. And you have the floor, sir.
He already spilled the beans with that. So, I did get the vaccine. Not because of, you know, of an agenda that people are, people just say, oh man, you gotta go get it, because truth be told, you can still catch it, even just like the flu, you can still catch it, even vaccinated with the flu, you know. But I guess my thing was, you know, because I'm still in the military, eventually, I was gonna have to get the shot anyways, you know, via the military, because not too long ago, I believe they've put it in a place where you know, troops they're going to be mandated to get the vaccine. So I went, you know, so that was one reason. Secondly, you know, if y'all remember, I'm a father, so
I figured that was.
I was kind of you know, I was in the standpoint of, well, you know what, if I do happen to catch it, and something bad happens to me, I wouldn't want it to be because of my negligence.
Right.
So
That's good.
I went ahead and, you know, got my vaccines. You know, got the first one, you know, within the 3 weeks. You know, after the 3 weeks, got my second one. So, you know, then turned to a zombie. You know, this didn't get it. Relax.
We'll get our time's coming.
Yeah, then turned to a zombie. You know, no genetically altered states or anything like that. If anything, I just I was just sore. You know, I didn't get sicker, you know, from and this isn't me promoting you guys to get it, because I don't believe there's a right or wrong answer whether you decide to get it or not. My problem is that, you know, today the world is just promoted as if this is the end all be all solution to get it. When all honesty, if you just know, if you've already been taking care of yourself anyway, if you're a relatively healthy person, you probably don't need the shot. You know, really it's more geared towards the people that has underlying issues already.
Right.
But even then, they still need to fix the root problems with that, because a lot of people that's been getting the shots, and I think I read it somewhere, I believe it was between like 72 or 78%. A lot of people that within that range that gotten the shot, that died from the shot, were obese. Yeah.
Makes sense. I mean, you are at a, your immune system is compromised.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So now adding in the vaccine, you know, because it's essentially a virus, you getting injected with a virus to, you know, for your body to recognize what's in your system.
Then your body forces it.
Right.
Exactly.
It's literally the same concept as if, like, all right, so the flu vaccine or whatever, a lot of the times you often get flu-like symptoms after getting the vaccine or whatever.
Exactly.
So when you're obese, your immune system at that point is compromised as far as like comparable to somebody who's, you know, taking care of themselves or whatever, still has a strong immune system or whatever. So like as far as putting this vaccine into your body, it's sending a compromised immune system into shock the same way that getting the sickness would.
Yeah.
And so basically how I feel like that comes along is it goes hand in hand. Like if you, I guess it's kind of revealing who probably would have fallen off if they would have gotten the sickness anyway.
Damn, that's natural selection, boy.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
I mean, it's a bad way to look at it, but like, you know, it's just, you know, it kind of, like I said, it goes hand in hand that way. So it's kind of tough, which is why I'm not for or against it. Like, you know, I'm pro-choice pretty much all across the board.
Which you
most
should
things,
be.
right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now, the only thing that bothers me about the vaccination is the same thing that's been bothering me about the entire subject anyway, is choice. Like, let people do what they feel is the right thing to do for them,
Right.
and let it be. You know what I'm saying? Because like, before the vaccine came out, when it was just, you know, Rona out here, you know, wilding and folks was going crazy and everything like that, what used to bother me was I'd be riding with like, you know, a coworker or something, and they would be like, they'd be like going off on somebody with a mask on in their own car, which I mean, sure, it does look a little questionable. Whatever, you riding by yourself, got a mask on in the car, whatever, got you. But you know, to find it within yourself to be angry enough to express yourself about how that may look to you or whatever, how dumb that is, how stupid that is, or like they like, you know, going off the deep end about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, but they're over there doing their thing in the car that they paid for, living their life. That ain't got shit to do with you. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, so as far as like approaching the whole topic of the vaccination or whatever, like I said, I'm not for or against. Like if I had children, I would probably have more to compute and process and think about doing, especially with the fact that like I'm out in public all the time. And I do occasionally come across customers and clients and stuff like that and interact with them or whatever.
Right.
Like if I had children, I would have more to think about. But it's just me. So as far as that, I know that like I'm. Aside from a few dust allergies and I'm allergic to outside, but somehow still find myself working outside.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Have a very strong immune system. Like if I'm sick, it's once a year. I'm down for like 2 days and I'm back up and that's it. You know what I'm saying? So like as far as my choice to not get vaccinated, I feel like I shouldn't necessarily be judged because I don't want the vaccination. Me, I've lived most of my life. The only time I've gone to the doctor has been extreme occasions, like I had a hairline fracture on a collarbone one time. I think I had a fever of like 101 or something pre-Rona days, so nobody be worried about shit like that. But you know what I'm saying? What? All this shit. You know what I'm saying? But had a fever of 101 for like more than a day, and it was like, all right, maybe it's time to outsource some solutions. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Now, if I had issues like that, I would go to the doctor, but otherwise, I don't really carry myself with a reason to go to the doctor, so I don't. And I'm still here. You know what I'm saying? About to be 30 years strong, ain't had no real major issues, whatever. Clearly I'm doing all right. Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? So, like, that's my choice. What I feel about the whole vaccination or just Rona in general is, like, people need to keep their opinions to themselves, and which goes across the board, because like everybody feels like their opinion needs to be validated these days, blah, 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 It's annoying. Yes, you are allowed to have your opinion. If you want to share your opinion, share it in a vague way. Sure, rant on Facebook if you want to or whatever. But at the same time, realize that every single other person around you has the same exact right you do. Yeah. And if you find most of the same ones around you keep their opinions to themselves. Like, I don't agree with everything that goes on in the world. I mean, sometimes we openly speak about how we feel about what's going on in the world or whatever. I'm not out here in public doing this. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to Publix and be like, hey, you a whole jackass over there wearing you a sheep. That's what you're doing, wearing your mask over there looking stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's literally no reason to be out here doing stuff like that. And so, like, when people talk about the vaccination the same way as they was talking about the mask and everything, like, stuff like that, like, it's irritating to me. Yeah. Like, I understand, like, just like, we joked about you getting vaccinated or whatever, but like, I support your choice. Like, you did what you thought was right for you in your situation. Exactly. Yeah. I commend you for, standing up and doing that for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, having that, presence of mind to think about it and really, weigh the options and go ahead and do it. Yeah. Now, you know what I'm saying? It's like, we ain't heard nothing. But that's how much shit happens since May.
But I had my reason it wasn't just against y'all,
cool.
But
no, we get it, but still, damn, bro, like
I'm saying because no, because I'm gonna explain it because
go ahead.
Because because now.
I got some stuff to say, boy. Go ahead.
Oh my goodness.
Go ahead.
Now, excluding y'all, because we the homies. What I don't appreciate what's going on in the public right now is like right now this whole people just asking, have been vaccinated? It's about the same. It's almost as equivalent as saying, like that'll be like me coming to you saying, hey, oh man, how many times do you and your wife be having sex? That's your business. Why do I need to know that?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's almost like, people asking, who you vote for, Democratic or Republican? It's like, who I vote for shouldn't mean nothing to that. I'm not saying that because of y'all. I just wasn't ready to tell y'all that.
And all this is Democrat and Republican.
Right, and we saw what politics did.
And that's all it is.
We saw what politics did to friendships with Trump and, whatever, all that.
Exactly. And I was good on that. I'm like, I don't care who
you vote for. As long, like, our past together, like, however we've been, does not change
Yeah.
based off of who you vote for, if you got vaccinated, if you didn't, if you whatever, you know what I'm saying? And so the fact that like stuff like that is an issue shows that we have an issue in society.
Yes.
To me. And like the fact that people keep just like jumping over that fact and like still, hey, validation, my opinion means the most to me, so it should mean the most to you type shit. Like, no, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's fact. Like, and that's what bothers me. Like riding around with these folks that have their opinions, they want to talk about it, or like seeing people, you know, broadcast their opinion in a public setting or whatever. It's just like
they be unsolicited, bro.
Like there's literally no reason. Literally, like I was watching a video. There was this dude. It was a white guy that was standing on the side of the road holding up a Black Lives Matter sign. Like it's an older video. I think it's a couple years old now. Standing on the side of the road in like a predominantly white town saying Black Lives Matter. And the folks are just riding by and just talking all types of trash, dropping the N-bomb, like, well, what about our lives? And, you know, all this stuff. And it's just like, all right, so, I mean, it is, but like it still kind of butts up to like the atmosphere around what's going on with the vaccination. Sure. You know what I'm saying? Whereas like, all right, so you see this dude standing on the side of the road holding up a sign, Black Lives Matter, which like, to be completely real, I agree and disagree with multiple things in the Black Lives Matter movement. Now, the initial startup of it, I got it. Because, like, at the time, it was definitely, I feel like there was something that needed to be said, you know, on a podium and let people know, like, hey, there's a problem. You know what I'm saying? And then just like every other thing in the world today, you get your extremists that jump into the program and start just shooting itself in the foot, talking about all types of stupid shit that doesn't need to be talked about. And then all of a sudden, that's what's focused on because that's the most dynamic, that's the most, hey, you know, look at me type shit that goes on. Now, as far as the vaccination goes, just like you was talking about, you know, you getting tired of people like, hey, did you get vaccinated, blah, blah, blah. All right, this is how I feel. If you got all right, if I get asked, did I get vaccinated? I'm going to say no. Honestly, like, that's why I'm an honest person. I'm going to tell you what it is, you know what I'm saying? Now, if you have something to say about me, I'm going to look right back at you and I'm going to be like, did you get vaccinated? Yes. Then you shouldn't be worried about me if what you did works.
Exactly.
You feel me? Like, you know what I'm saying? Exactly. And so, like, and it's irritating to me because that's literally how it breaks down. Like, if you felt comfortable and confident in the choice that you made, then the choice of others around you should not matter. But here we are, still everybody, you know, trying to, you know, nitpick across the bridge and talk about, oh, you did the wrong thing. Well, you did the wrong thing. And it's just like, all right, so did what you did work for you? Yeah. Then stay the fuck over there.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, then what you worried about this side for? But
you know what's... I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. I'm ready to talk when y'all...
All right, I got you. I was just going to say one thing. I wonder if the name didn't exist, would people just, you know, go about their day as if it's just a regular cold or a regular flu? Because there's a lot of there's a lot of power in names. You know, when you think of Chase banking, Chase, that's a big bank.
Wells Fargo.
You know, Wells Fargo. Like you know, because there's a lot of name associations that.
Ameris.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
exactly. I just wonder if had the name not existed, will we still go about our day as regular people and people not paying attention to? Well, I'm not gonna say don't watch the news, but don't make that your whole reality.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I think that's just where it's a lot of there's not a lot of good things on the news, man. I think we all know that.
Matter of fact, media is literally geared to focus on the shit that will grab your attention.
That will grab your attention.
Most people negative stuff is what grabs the attention.
Yeah.
And so that's what they focus on to pull in their ratings, to pull in their viewers, and blah blah blah. And then people who are looking at it are like, oh, well, it was on the news, so it absolutely 100% undeniably has to be facts. Right. So if you're that enthusiastic to take that information and completely bring it home as true, then use that same energy to go fact check it.
Yeah.
And if you do, you realize that as positive as they sounded on the news, there's all types of things around it that don't necessarily mean that what they said was true. Mm-hmm. And now don't get me wrong, that's not on every topic. Right. But, you know, that is basically as a whole how that works. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because like a lot of times, hell, I'm not ashamed to say I've been checked on social media where it's like, you know, I share something and this is what it says and blah, blah, blah. And they're like, well, if you actually, you know, did your research on this article, this is like a couple years old and blah, 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 blah. Like, it's happened to me before. And it's just like, oh, Well, then, and then you start to, then like, and to me, I take that as like, damn, I really need to start checking this shit out. Like, you know what I'm saying? But nobody wants to do that. They're like, oh, this is how I feel, and how I felt was on the news, so that has to be absolutely right, because that's what's cohesive with what I got going on. So fuck everybody else saying other shit. Matter of fact, you say something, hey, no, this is what happened. This is what it is.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's not how the world should work. Like, if you're that energetic and that enthusiastic to bring it in and to promote it, make sure that it's something accurate to put out into the atmosphere, especially if you're gonna be one of these people out here standing on a soapbox being like, this is how it is, this is how I feel, blah, 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 and accept it as right, or I'm going to have a problem.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
it just don't work, man.
It doesn't. It's irritating.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's get to this.
Well,
There's got to be some stuff.
so...
I think this is personal.
No, it's not personal. I just got some things on my heart. So I mean, I've been real quiet on social media as far as, vaccination and all that. For a reason, because I just don't feel like arguing with somebody over this.
Right.
Like I said, this is nothing but Republican, Democrats 2.0.
Yep.
And it's
Blood
like,
and Crips.
like, so you on this side, you on this side. Because when this thing started, man, I was just trying to get over Kobe dying. And then boom.
Man, I'm telling you.
Then boom, get thrown into that. It's like, oh, man, now we got a whole pandemic on our hands.
I just had a daughter, man.
It's like,
bro.
things were just, it was a lot going on at that time. So
and then to have the whole world shut down, I'm like, damn.
Yeah, it was unreal.
That is some crazy shit.
Yeah.
Because for me, like I've said before, I did not stop working since it started.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Once it started, I was still out there.
Yeah.
So even in the beginning,
harder.
Harder, yeah.
Because people
Picking
don't
up
go
slack.
outside.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Picking up
people don't
slack.
want to go outside.
Shoot.
But when it happened, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't wearing a mask because for me, I looked at it like I'm out here every day. I'm already doing this blah blah blah.
I was
But
the
then,
same.
but then until it got real, until it got worse. That's when I actually started putting on a mask. My job started mandating we wear masks and blah blah blah. So I wear a mask, at work and public places. I just do that because I don't know if I can't catch it, I might be passing it to somebody else. So I still wear my mask.
Yeah.
For that reason.
Understood.
So even when we started the show, whatever, I was iffy about starting the show. I'm like, I'm not with these people every day or whatever. These my homies, we chat, but I'm not with them every day. I don't know what we got going on.
Right.
But we proceeded with it. We was like, we felt like we got something we wanted to say and we did it.
Mm-hmm.
But when I'm on Facebook and everything and I see some friends of mine talking about like, oh, you're a sheep for wearing a mask and blah, blah, blah. They're not talking directly to me. But I feel hit. I'm like,
oh,
damn.
so that's what it is.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do my due diligence because my thing is when we shut down, we should have completely shut down, and that was not the case.
And that was
And
Everybody else around the world did that.
Yeah.
But not us. Like, and that's
Ain't that a coincidence? Never mind.
I said my piece about that way back too.
We're spoiled. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody's. We're the only ones bulletproof. It's how America feels.
Apparently.
You know what I'm saying?
Follow the money, man.
And
That's
literally,
that's all it is.
and that's exactly what happened. Like businesses started like, hey, whoa, hold up now. If we shut down, I can't afford my $1 million vacation.
That's all they was worried about.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
all they was worried about. So with that being said, I can say a lot about what should have happened, what could have happened. It doesn't matter now. We almost 2 years deep into this, this pandemic now.
Facts.
And my thing is, I don't care if someone gets a vaccine. I don't care if somebody doesn't get the vaccine. Mac decided to make a conscious decision, do what he needed to do. Fine, you did what you needed to do. That was for you. That was your choice. Just like what Ant said, if it works for you, it works for you. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Yeah. But at the end of the day, my thing is, I'm gonna call it what it is. It's almost like being slut shamed. If you're not, I'm gonna say what it is. It's no win side. It's either you got vaccinated or you wearing a mask. It's like, why do I have to be either one of those?
Yeah.
My thing is, if people want to get the vaccine, I support you. Do what you need to do.
Right.
If you don't want to get it, I support you too. But what I don't support, I don't feel like I need to wear a mask. You don't know if you might be, asthmatic.
Asymptomatic.
You don't know if you're asymptomatic, and you
asymptomatic,
might not get it, but you pass it to someone else. My thing is just do your due diligence. I don't care, I feel like a lot could have been slowed down if people weren't so, I need to do this, I have to be out, you taking away my rights.
Yeah.
Man, we got motherfuckers out here dying and can't breathe, and you talking about, I can't wear a mask.
Just off of allergies.
Yeah, just off of allergies. So just like, At the end of the day, just put it on. It ain't gonna hurt you to do it. I got a 3-year-old son.
Yeah.
He don't know nothing about what's going on.
Nothing.
But he'll put on a mask. If he sees his daddy put on a mask, he gonna put on a mask.
Right.
And you know, if a 3-year-old can comply and do it, I'm not. And
Right.
it ain't like I'm telling my son you have to put it on.
Right.
He's 3 years old.
He's like, oh, that's what we doing?
Yeah, like, all right, okay, I'm with you. Let's do
Let me
it.
strap up.
Right. So, you know, I don't have to tell my son, hey, this is something you need to do. He just does it just off the strength.
Yeah.
So, you know, with that being said, you know, I just feel like it shouldn't be down to whether you got it and whether you don't it. Like, my dad, he sent me a video a little while ago, probably a couple days ago, and Pierce, he's a comedian. He was on Baps. He played Halle Berry.
Damn.
Oh, shit, I know you're talking about. Yeah. He's
So
cool.
he's
funny.
Yeah, he's funny. So he sent me a video of his, and he was like, yeah, you know, I got vaccinated or whatever, and you know, then I caught COVID or whatever, and then he was like, you know, but I'm still here. He was like, I think if it wasn't for this vaccine, I probably wouldn't have been here. That's fine.
That's-
Maybe that worked.
that's valid.
But then you got people that are fully vaccinated that still die.
Yeah.
Like that,
True.
and that's scary to think about that, because my
Yeah.
thing is, if you taking it so you won't die, and then you end up dying, that's scary.
But see, I think, and that kind of brings up to what I was saying. I believe that's because of those underlying issues that people have already had.
And I say a lot about that. And then some people like, oh, they didn't have underlying issues. Like,
And that's true.
what?
Okay. And
I know,
I get it. Okay.
But like that's
Okay.
the thing though. Like you're not that person's doctor. You're not that person's physician to know that person's whole faculties, what they got going on and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I do have to backpedal and say, I will agree with what you said. There are people that don't have underlying issues. Like my mom, she used to work at Emory. She got a lot of connects with doctors.
Mhm.
The doctors would tell her that, yeah, there are a lot of, surprisingly younger people that would get the shot,
exactly.
or don't even get the shot, somehow get COVID or whatever, but healthy as a bull and still die.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah. So I will have to, I will backpedal and say, I do agree with you with that,
That's
in
scary.
that regard. That is scary.
You know.
But see, and I'll let you speak after. But the other side, my bad.
Real good.
But the other side of the coin is, and I guess I don't want to make it seem heartless or anything, but the death rate of it is damn near less than 1% of it. So we kind of made this, reference to natural selection. That not saying it's a laughing matter or anything, but
That's what it is.
it kind of is what it is. If you was just, my first sergeant told me when I was deployed, like, look, if the bullet had your name on it, you ain't dodging it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, hey, if you was meant to, you healthy, and that's just with anything. It don't have to be necessarily
Different strokes for
COVID.
different folks.
Right. You could be walking around, minding your business, a drunk driver strikes you, and you're gone. It's just,
Hell, bro,
how can you?
That's close to home for some folks.
Right,
you know
and
what
that's
I'm saying? So-
exactly. It's like how would you have been able to avoid that?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was just meant for you to pass away from it, you could be healthy as all get out. If it was just time for you to go, you just had to go.
Right.
So
To this point, when you,
yeah.
before you get done, I guess I'm sorry.
and so I guess for my point was before I got the shot, I was against it. Well for the most part I was against it because it just seemed too soon that the vaccine there was already a solution for this particular SARS, and also I just did not appreciate that people just a lot of people just pushing it on you, shoving it down that, hey man, you need to get this shot, those were really the two factors that I didn't really appreciate. But of course, like I said, now I'm a father and things like that. I got big, it's just
more
bigger
stuff.
than me.
It's just
Yeah.
more than just you. Yeah.
It's bigger than me. I want to be around my daughter's life.
Right, which is
from
why-
what I'm
like
saying.
I said,
But that's the
many
thing.
people,
But we
right.
can have that conversation with him and not condemn him. Like,
Right.
why did you?
Right,
It's
right.
like,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. So so that was kind of my little quick tidbits. I guess the matter as far as the other side of it. With death rate and whether you get it, you could still get the vaccine, you could still possibly die. So now get to you. Or
Just real quick.
okay.
So, with saying what you said as far as the natural selection thing and all that or whatever, it sucks because at the end of the day or whatever, people will find out either you were strong enough or you wasn't strong enough.
Yes.
Now, back to me going to what Pierre was saying, you like, well, if people feel this way, then it should be to where vaccinated people over here and masked people or no masked people's over there. But at the end of the day, those vaccinated people, if it's not doing it for them and they give it to somebody else, it's not helping anything.
Yeah, it's like,
so at the end of the day, it's just like, no, we need to try to come to a conclusion, wear the mask, try to be safe, because a lot of people, they'll say the vaccine, I don't need no mask anymore, I'm good. But I was like, you might be good, but you might be taking somebody else. You know what I mean? But that's my little tidbit, so you go ahead.
Yep.
My thing, like, you said something about being heartless or whatever. It's, again, why I keep my mouth shut about most major issues on broad platforms and stuff like that, because, like, just the same way you got your little skeptical, no, it is what it is shit, and I usually have my little candy coat and, I try to at least give, shit the benefit of the doubt before I declare,
I'm the hammer, he puts a little rubber on here.
Right. I got the what they call that, the something blow, I can't remember, something false blow or something like that, whatever. But either way, as far as like how I feel about the topic, as far as like it is what it is type shit, like, again, like I said, it's different strokes for different folks. Like, the vaccine works, it wonders for some folks, makes them Teflon bulletproof, whatever, gets them through their day, let's say they came in contact with it, they got the vaccine, it worked. The vaccine didn't work for other folks, like you said, some people are still, vaccinated and then still dying. You know what I'm saying? Underlying issues, whatever the case may have been, whatever. Same thing with the young folks that, they were in their prime and still, got took out by it. It's your time to go, blah, 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 blah. My problem with everybody's opinion as far as like get vaxxed or judging folks for not getting vaxxed or anything like that, and like I said, if you did it and that works for you, that works for you. If it doesn't, and if you didn't, then, like for me, I carry myself with the exception is like whatever it is that's gonna take me out, that's what's supposed to take me out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like as far as like I could be rolling up the street at a gas station and somebody decide they want to roll up and pull put your hands up type shit, and then I'm the one to go out. That could be that. Whatever. But what bothers me is how like I understand, folks, value their lives and try to protect themselves against other people, like, especially, particularly the vax crowd, like, they try to speak from a higher platform, well, I got my shots, did you do your part, just that and the third, and like I said, like, if you took care of your household and you feel comfortable in your position, then you should be straight. You know what I'm saying?
But like at home, man.
But exactly. Now, when it comes to, the broad spectrum of things, just like you said, underlying things, different conditions and, things might have played a part in people still getting vaccinated and still dying or whatever. It was their time to go. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's sad. I'm not trying to speak, I'm not trying to, talk down or, from a high horse or anything like that. But, like, whatever it is that's meant to take you out is going to take you out. And that's how I carry myself. Like, I'm not personally motivated to go get vaccinated because, like I said, I've got a strong constitution. Like, it ain't really shit. Like, I'm not a sickly person anymore. I grew up kind of sickly because I was allergic to everything that we found out just happened to be outside.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? But like, aside from that, I'm straight. Yeah. And so, like, I don't feel as though people who make their own decisions based off of how they feel about life should be, black sheeped or condemned because they didn't. Because what I find an issue is, as far as like I said, specifically the vaxxed people that like to talk down from their high horse about people that don't get vaxxed are they're somehow lower on the totem pole as far as like being a person and shit like that. And it's just like, no, but just like me, like I've carried my life the way I've carried my life, and like at one time I was a gym rat. I was taking care of myself. I was pumped up, good to go, and stuff like that. Just because I make the decision to not get vaxxed doesn't mean that like I'm one of these people. And I, again, different strokes for different folks. aside from the crew who have been around me for as long as they've been around me and, you know, things like that,
Yeah.
I don't really come in contact with people. Like, social distancing was already in place
Already
for
a
me.
thing, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Why are you 2 feet from me right now? Like, you know what I'm saying? Hey, Lou, like, literally, I'm in public at, you know, let's say I'm in Walmart or whatever, and somebody be 6 inches away, and I'm like, let me just go ahead and take this quick step up real quick, because, like, why are you all up on me? You know what I'm saying?
Move up with you. And then they move up with
You know what I'm saying? And they close the gap. It's like, I turn around like, hey, like, it's, you know, I give them a look.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you feel as though that, let's say, your choice isn't as solid as you want to portray it to be,
Yeah.
that doesn't necessarily mean that the next person has to, you know, adapt to your decision. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like that. Like, I feel like if I'm not a vaxxer, like, sure, like the vaxxer that I'm, you know, in close contact with, like, which, you know, you're a perfect example.
Okay.
You've got no problem being in the same room with me. You ain't got no problem. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
just because that they're not vaxxed does not mean they're stupid, just out here living their life
Right.
for the hell of it.
Right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying? Like
Exactly.
that. Like, think about what that person's life may be like. You know what I'm saying? Like, that person could be like me. Like, I literally come in contact with as few people as possible on just the fact that, like, let's say a disease is, you know, transferable by, you know, contact or distance, you know, proximity or whatever, stuff like that. I've been on that wave a long time. You know what I'm saying? So these new mandated things, honestly, are nothing more than an annoyance to somebody like me, because it's just like, I feel like that should have been a social construct anyways. Why are you up in my personal bubble for no reason anyway? Like, you know what I'm saying? But
That's facts, though. Yeah.
that's how I feel about it. And then previously in the conversation, I lost it because, like, I was listening to what y'all had to say.
Okay.
But like, more or less, this disease has been around for longer than what I guess has been the last couple of years.
For sure.
Yeah.
Because about, boy, it's been some time now, probably like 15 years ago, billions of dollars worth of viruses that were in transport went missing. And that is,
I might look that up.
this is one of them. The bird flu was one of them. Swine flu was one of them.
Yeah.
And so this is why I don't have a biased opinion on this subject. Like, this is from long, already processed information. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, and this is one of them. You know what I'm saying? The corona, whatever you want to call it, whatever it goes by these days. You know, the new Delta variant. You know, they change it up because they got to make it interesting and spicy to, like, you know, captivate some of the people that are, you know, more or less impressionable. But anyway, so for the other side of the argument, for vaxxers or whatever, like, or the more or less for the anti-vaxxers, as far as like, oh no, that vaccine popped up too quick, they didn't know, you know, how could they know that this is going to work, blah, blah, blah. These diseases have been out in the world longer than what the broad public is known about. And so as far as like, once they went missing, scientists immediately were like, okay, well, now we have to start working on shit to counteract it in case it does pop up. And if you notice, bird flu, swine flu, literally lasted about the same time the first wave of corona did, whereas before the vaccine came out, because bird flu, swine flu lasted for about a year. Everybody was freaking out. Then shit started coming out, and that shit died off, and we ain't even heard about bird flu, swine flu, nothing since. You know what I'm saying? So as far as these vaccines and people being skeptical about them, work has already been put in before now to start working towards vaccines and medicines to combat them, because they knew it was out there. They didn't know where the hell it was. They didn't know where the hell it was going to pop up. They didn't know how big or how bad, you know, the outbreak was going to be. But work has already been put in to, you know, study what could possibly combat, you know, what comes out. They didn't know exactly how it was going to affect people. They didn't exactly know how, you know, it was going to attack people, how, you know, what the death rate would be, blah, 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 stuff like that. Because at that time when they got lost, they were still experiments. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is probably a little deeper than what it needs to be said, but this has been worked on as far as biological warfare for a long time. You know what I'm saying? And so when it comes to the vaccines and stuff like that, a lot of people are skeptical because no, it's too fast, blah blah blah. Which fair, because a lot of the times with the first wave of shit that comes out often has bugs in it. You know what I'm saying? Like look at Xboxes and PlayStations and shit like that, where it's like don't ever buy the first system when it comes out.
No.
Wait a little bit.
Yeah.
Let the bugs get worked out. Let that little streamlined system come out next. And so as far as like when you talk about vaccines and now this new Delta variant and now the vaccine to combat it, you technically are safer with taking this vaccine than you were when they were coming out a month, like March, May, June and stuff like that when they started talking about vaccines and stuff like that. Now they've had time to sort of get the trial and error worked out and stuff like that. And so you're didn't they just get regulated to come back in?
Yeah,
like I seen something about that, but so work has been put in to for occasions like this, where now they've been able to work out the bugs. Now they've been able to see how it affects people. Now they have more of a case study to work off of as far as like how it went through people and stuff like that. And so they have more knowledge to put into their vaccine to work it out.
Exactly.
And that's what bothers me. Whereas you got your anti-vaxxers out here that are calling the mask wearers or the vaxxers or whatever sheep and this, that, and the third. No, like what I'm saying, you wrong too. So like as far as stuff like that goes, if you don't have that knowledge, if you didn't have that knowledge previously, you're literally speaking from ignorance. And now granted, the first people that were like jumping on the vax and all that stuff, just like that, like if it worked for you, it worked for you. If it didn't, then it's just like anything else. This is trial and error. This is literally something they were put out to hopefully make people feel better, to hopefully do something. We saw the first wave was kind of fucking up. You know what I'm saying? And so like, and here we are with the second wave. Now they've got more, like I said, data to compute off of and sort of, adapt, their solution. Yeah. But that's why the main issue of this bothers me. Everybody's speaking from because what I just said is not popular knowledge. Yeah. Like it is really not. Right. Like most people don't understand. They had no idea that there was billions of dollars of viruses that was lost by the government a long time ago. Or
I didn't know
things
that.
Like right. You know what I'm saying? So
I work.
We can. That's off camera stuff. But and so that's why this bothers me. Where everybody tries to speak from a podium of ignorance. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how you know that this issue is not a overall life or death or health or I'm trying to keep my people safe opinion. This is my opinion. This is how I feel. So it has to be right type issue, and that's what bothers me. That is the most annoying part of this. Yeah. But anyway, that's my spiel on that.
I think I've said my piece on the wrongness.
Okay. Now I just had one click. I don't know what the fuck click is. I got one quick thing to say. So just off of everything we've talked about, people that have been vaccinated, not talking about you, Matt.
I got you.
It is not a cure.
Yep.
You are not immune to getting it.
That's right.
And what the problem has been for a lot of people, they figure, I got the shot, so I'm good. I can do whatever I want to. I've known a couple of people that went out knowingly thinking that since I got the vaccine, it's good. We got camera 2 over there. Cool. But since I got the vaccine, I'm good. I can go out here and do whatever I want. So I ain't gotta wear a mask, blah blah blah. That is not the case. You still need a mask up. You still need to do your due diligence. You still need to wash your hands. I never thought I had to tell people that. But you still need to wash your hands.
That goes to the same thing as like my personal social construct was to keep the distance and all that stuff. That was part of it. Like anytime I go in the bathroom, washing my hands. Anytime I touch something that is not normal, washing my hands. Like the fact that they had to publicly broadcast something like that was like a more of a damn, y'all really are that stupid. Y'all really need to be told how to wash your hands.
How wash your hands and wipe your ass.
Yeah. Well,
that we found out that people just wasn't using tissue.
Apparently. Because then they found out tissue was getting dangerously. Nobody even knew that it was about to be a thing, and toilet paper. How?
We made an issue of this on the first time we talked about this.
where does toilet paper become the new staple of choice?
Y'all
Like,
gotta drink water.
like no, screw the milk, screw the eggs, screw the water. Let's go wipe out the toilet paper and paper towels. And I was just
They should have just got the the bidets. You keep the day, bro.
Apparently.
Like, help yourself out because they killed the tissue game, and they gonna probably kill it again with everything that's going on. But
that's another topic that I was getting ready to say because like I got the news report literally on the way back to the house earlier today. Cobb County is in a state of emergency based off of the surge of cases that they're getting for Rona. And so like that's like an hour and some change away. Yeah. And you got a lot of people that work in Cobb County commute out of there. You know what I'm saying? And so like bringing it back, exactly. And so like that's something that, you know, we need to all be aware of and kind of sort of like if it's gonna be what it was last year, buckle up. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then the running joke at work, because like we'd already been talking about before I got that report, like, oh, I'm taking the unemployment route this time because like you had
I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna
lie.
They
was making bank. They
was copping like 800. They was making more a week on unemployment than they were working. You know what I'm saying? And so that's the running joke. Everybody's like, "Hey, I'm taking unemployment around this time. Like, I'm staying at home." Blah,
I ain't
blah.
gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna lie to you. I wasn't thinking about that.
Facts. Like I said, and then I went. You feel me? Like, hey. So and I made the joke. Personally, somebody I was talking to about the issue that like has another issue out of state. What I was like, hey, shit, I'm gonna be knocking on folks' doors in a hazmat suit. Hey, you need some yard work done? What's up? Because like I'm not the type of person. All right, so I had my opinions as far as like people that literally took this as an excuse to not do shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? For sure. Like the first time this came around, the whole, you know, everybody shut down employment, you know, all of a sudden was the new just popping income. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And like I had my opinions about that. Like, so you literally just gonna lay up and not do shit all day, every day, shamelessly. You know what I'm saying? I had my opinions about that. And so this time coming around, and you know, of course, you know, it's a running joke at work and everything. I'm not the type of person that can sit in the house and just not do shit for months. Like I'm not that person. Like I might hibernate for like a week or two, and then after that, I'll be like, all right, no, we gotta find something. Like this ain't gonna work. Like I mean, I there's only so clean I can get this house now. You feel me? Like there's only so much work I can do around my yard. Like I said, like I made my little version of the joke where I'm being a hazmat suit. Like, hey, you need your grass cut. You want some limbs clipped down real quick. Like, you know what I'm saying? But like that's another thing to be aware of, like, you know, as far as like the local people, because I'm pretty sure most of our audience is local. Yeah. You know, it might be a thing again soon. So, you know, buckle up.
Well, I mean, you do have another option too. What? You know, for $15.99.
This no bullshit. Hold up. I done been asked. I done been approached about, hey, so like, hey, we could really get some shit popping with some interracial stuff. Like,
oh, shit, bro, for the corner, bro. I'm like, I'm gonna go ahead and stop. Like, hey, my buddy, that $15.99.
I ain't gonna watch.
But you got my slave. They was like, there's a whole bunch of older ladies on there that really go for your ass. Like, hey, well, you know, hey, you never know. You never know what the time brings. I guess if I'm doing something constructive, that counts. So, you know, whatever. Like, hey. But you know, it is not. It's nowhere on the radar for me to be doing. No. But that's funny you brought that shit up because, like, I forgot about that. Yeah, a couple people tried to recruit me. Hey, you trying to get a joint account going? Like, hey, it's like,
I hit him with What? Yo, so we did it, man. 1 year.
1 year.
It's our anniversary. I'm going to still. It's our anniversary.
No, it's like, oh, we'll go ahead and come.
Oh man.
Fact.
365.
Facts, bro.
That's cool. That's cool.
We made it.
We did it.
So, you know, of course, we've been out. I've been doing interviews and all that because I mean, all of our skills is changed.
Kind of got chopped up.
Yeah. So I mean, with that being said, we just had to make do what we could do, and just to even bring this episode to you, I'm not gonna say it was a struggle, but you know, I know everybody else got other things going on.
It was a stretch, like it was kind of out of left field.
It is my bedtime right now. You know, but hey, it's for the
We
set.
brought you the content.
Right, just for the set though.
For sure, for
Facts.
sure.
Subscribe to us like you do your OnlyFans.
I'm trying to tell you, because, if we ain't rolling soon, I might have to slide some of these videos on.
Hey,
Like, slide a clip.
Hey, you want to listen to a good conversation? $10.99. There it is, right there.
Nah, I just love on one of our episodes. So I'm just gonna put that iteration. Oh, what is this?
Whoa.
Gotcha.
Hey, so
Gotcha.
that was a good day.
Gotcha.
All of them was some good episodes. Now, like
that was fire.
Yes, sir.
I talked my piece about some.
Yeah,
Oh,
couple
man.
pieces.
So that being said, man, he gotta go night. I'm gonna
Yeah.
probably be up editing and probably get some more food. But
Hey.
this has been another episode of The
Wow.
Corner, anniversary episode. So this will technically be our 31st episode.
Wow.
Every episode we put
That's
out.
what's up,
So
We
yeah.
got 31 episodes.
We got some
Hey,
content.
it's
So
in
like I
got some
said,
content.
if I got to drop the content, I got content.
We got footage, baby.
So you try that up to 10 minutes, 10 minutes off of each episode. We normally do about an hour. Bruh,
Hey,
I
man.
roll in the dough.
Hey, man. Hey.
But again, man,
This
this
is
has
good
been,
conversations.
for sure, always good conversation. But it has definitely been another episode of The Corner, our 1-year anniversary episode. Glad everybody was come out, put their time in for it, and we here. Gonna keep working, gonna keep striving, get better, do better. That's all we can do. So that being said, to my right we got
Mac.
the boy K1 over here.
Anthony.
And this has been another episode of The Corner. Y'all stay tuned in and be a part of the conversation. Peace.
Cover your 6.
Oh, there it is. I was waiting.
Yeah, I wonder if he's gonna drop that.
Cover your 6. Cover your 6. Assalamu alaikum.